If you're thinking about moving to St. Augustine, listen closely because yes, this place is charming, historic, and flat out gorgeous, but behind the Spanish moss and the cobblestone streets, there are some serious deal breakers that could wreck your budget, stall your renovation, or sour your beach dreams if you're not prepared. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through 12 honest truths about living in St. Augustine, including the coastal risks that most buyers overlook, real insurance and tax costs that locals actually feel, and the quirky but crucial lifestyle trade-offs from historic district rules to beach driving restrictions. And don't worry, I'll give you the smart workarounds for each one. Hey there, I'm Amy Howell with One Florida Group, your relocation expert for St. Augustine and the entire St. Johns County area. I help families and remote professionals and 55 plus buyers relocate with confidence because, let's be real, no one wants to learn the hard way after they've already unpacked the moving truck. So let's dive in. Number one, we're gonna talk about coastal flood risks. Most of St. Augustine sits on a floodplain, and we're not just talking hurricanes, I'm talking sunny day, then tidal flooding, especially in low-lying areas like Davis Shores. The smart move, use FEMA's flood map by address before you even tour, and ask about nuisance flood history. And don't forget elevation certificates and raised mechanicals. This isn't just about damage, it's about protecting long-term value. And number two, we're gonna talk about insurance. Here's the truth. Insurance costs are address specific and premiums vary so wildly. Wind mitigation credits, roof age, elevation, they all matter. With Risk Rating 2.0, FEMA now prices flood insurance based on your exact location and risk, so no more blanket pricing here. PSA, ask for quotes before touring. I help clients get estimates on the spot with and without wind mitigation credits. Why? Because one overlooked inspection could cost you thousands per year. Number three, tourism, crowds, and downtown parking. Downtown is beautiful and packed. During nights of lights, good luck finding a parking space unless you're local with a plan. The garage fills, meter rates climb, and during special events, you might see rates hit $40 to $60. So what do the smart locals do? We apply for resident discount passes, we use free shuttles during peak times, and if you're buying, prioritize off-street parking. Let me be blunt. You don't want to figure this stuff out the hard way, and that's why clients lean on me from day one. If you want to avoid surprise insurance quotes, STR zoning headaches, and buying in the wrong flood zone, download my app below. You'll have access to listings, insurance, tips by zip code, and a direct line to me when you're ready to make a move. You deserve expert guidance, and I'll make sure that you have it. Number four, construction and commute. So growth is great until it hits your commute. Projects on State Road 16 and US 1 and the First Coast Expressway are adding time, detours, lane closures all across town. Always test your commute during peak hours. I help clients map short-term work zones and long-term upgrades so that you're not buying into gridlock. Number five, short-term rental zoning. Rental income can be amazing, but here it's totally zone dependent. In certain zones, nightly rentals are flat out prohibited, but one street over, it might be allowed. I always verify short-term rental rezoning before my buyers even run numbers, because if you assume you can Airbnb it, you could get shut down fast. Number six, beach driving is not a free-for-all. Driving on the beach sounds awesome until you realize you need a seasonal pass, you better check sand conditions, and during turtle season, you must be off the beach by 7:30 p.m. Trust me, I've helped clients pick neighborhoods with walkable beach access or easier parking depending on their lifestyle. Number seven, Florida's heat is no joke. Yes, it is hot, but the humidity is what really gets you. Fun story, I was born and raised in the deserts of Tucson, Arizona. My whole life living there, I always heard people saying, but it's a dry heat. And I never understood what that meant until I met Florida humidity. Heat index values here often top 108 degrees, especially near the water. And we won't even discuss what this does to our lovely locks. I always miss my Arizona hair. So what do? You prioritize homes with at least R19 attic insulation, and you consider a dehumidification in your HVAC setup. It's not a luxury, it's just survival. Number 8, termites and mosquitoes. Florida equals bugs. We've got termites, summer mosquitoes, plague-worthy amounts of gnats, locusts the size of birds, and the occasional, what is that thing? I have lived in a lot of places, and this is the first place where pest control was non-negotiable. When purchasing a home, be sure to order a WDO or wood-destroying organism inspection. Ask about termite bonds, and now, yes, St. John County does offer free mosquito control visits, but you want to check that with your pest control too, because it would be great to have it more accessible and more often. Number 9, wildlife isn't just pretty, it's part of our daily life. All right, now let's talk about our unofficial Florida roommates. Yes, we have dolphins, sea turtles, the occasional manatee drifting by like they own the place, and it is absolutely magical. But we also have palmetto bugs the size of your AirPod case, and raccoons who think that trash night is a buffet, and snakes who don't care that that is your lanai. So depending on where you live, you might need to think about gator awareness if you're near ponds or retention lakes. Seriously, never let pets off your leash near the water. Snake fencing if you back up to a preserve or a marsh. And wildlife proof those trash bins, because raccoons are smarter than they look. Living near nature comes with a view and responsibility. And as your local pro, I can help clients match their Florida dream with the reality of the area, gator pond or no gator pond. Number 10, HOAs and hidden fees. You know that beautiful new construction neighborhood with the resort style pool and the fitness center? All that lifestyle comes with a price tag. HOA fees are pretty straightforward. They keep the community looking sharp, but CDDs, what stands for Community Development District, those sneakier fees show up on your tax bill. They fund infrastructure like roads, streetlights, or drainage, and that's why I always share with clients the full tax estimate, not just last year's bill, so we can compare HOA fees and CDD fees across all neighborhoods we're checking out. Not just new communities carry both. And we have to be realistic. If you're dreaming of resort-style living, budget for it monthly, because if you want to help comparing apples to apples, that is my jam. We will dig into real numbers early so that your budget doesn't get blindsided post-closing. Number 11, job commute reality. Now, I know some of you are coming from cities with subways, streetcars, 24/7 Uber availability. That is not quite how it works here in St. Augustine. It is very car dependent. There is no major commuter rail, and regional bus service is quite limited. So if you're planning to live beachside and work inland or vice versa, your car is your lifeline. So a few pro tips here. Look for walkable pockets within your lifestyle zone, beach, downtown schools. If you work remote, then you have more flexibility, which lucky you. And of course, golf carts are allowed in some areas, but no, they are not a total car replacement. This is a big shift for city folks, but with the right neighborhood pick, your car time can actually shrink and not grow. Number 12, school zones can vary, even across the street. If you've got school-age kids, pay close attention. In St. Johns County, public schools are excellent overall, but not every zone is created equal, and boundaries don't always follow obvious lines. Yes, it is entirely possible for homes on the opposite side of the same road to be zoned for different schools. So before you fall in love with that Pinterest-worthy kitchen, pull out the address-specific zoning from the county school attendance map, call the school to verify grade level capacity because some are capped, and if you're planning on applying for school choice or an academy program, know those deadlines because they really matter. I always check zoning before my buyers even take a tour, because buying the perfect home in the wrong school zone is a rough surprise. So what are your thoughts after hearing all of that? You still want to move to St. Augustine? Me too. I love it here. But if you have to move here, reminder, move here smart. So let's be real, this town isn't for everyone. It's for people who appreciate the charm and strategy, people who can handle the heat, crowds, and a little extra paperwork because they get to live steps from the beach or inside a centuries-old neighborhood that still feels like a secret. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments. If you want real-time updates on neighborhoods, insurance hacks, and beach driving alerts, download my free app and get a direct line to me. This is your St. Augustine reality check with love, sunscreen, and zero sugarcoating. Let's help you move here like a local the smart way. Because these 12 challenges, I've helped my clients navigate all of them. So when you've got a pro guiding you, the risks become manageable and the reward means living in one of the most special coastal towns in the country. So let's find you that right neighborhood with the right info so you can move here like a local from day one.